Hi everyone. I know that this is very inconvenient for me to not be here today, and I deeply apologize. Today I'm going to be walking you through the Session 2 Fantasy Book Club. Now today's book club has two different activities with this section, so you're going to want to do the first one obviously first, and then the second one next. So the first one that you are going to be doing, is you are going to be looking at the problems and solutions. So complicated texts often have more than one plot line happening at a time, and you need to keep track of the plots using timelines or charts. We're going to be using a chart. Now, what they mean by that is you have multiple characters in your story, and they all have these problems going on, and we're all trying to solve them, as well as like really big problems. So you're going to separate your paper into kind of 4 columns: character, problem, solution, change, by the end. Now, you're not going to be able to do by the end unless you've read the entire book. So I'm expecting this one, I don't know why this is clicking in there. You're going to leave that one blank unless you've read the entire book, but we will go back and fill this in. So what I've done is I'm using Thief of Always, but you're obviously going to use your book club book. When you go through, I would start with the main character and I would spread out to, okay, this one's the next main character, this is the next supporting character, the next supporting character, and go out until you touch on pretty much every character that is actually truly important to your story. Typically, there's around 5. And you're going to list all of their problems. So first off, Harvey's problem is that he's bored at his house. His solution is that he's going to go to Rictus with the holiday house, and by the end, he's given everything that he could want. Okay, we're solving this problem. Now, yes, there's a bunch of different problems in there, but really, his boredom is solved by him getting all of these gifts. Okay, secondly, he misses his family. So what is his solution, or how does he change? Well, he calls his mom to check in. Simple, but that's what he does. By the end, he goes through the mist wall to see his family, which is a lot more complicated, but that is his solution, and that is how he changed. Then I decided to just show you that when we do a new character, you're just going to leave these blank until you get a new character. So if I had all of these filled out for Harvey only, I wouldn't have these filled in. So Lulu, she's been at the house too long. Her change is that she's becoming a fish because her soul's taken. And by the end, she's broken free when Harvey defeats Hood. And then Hood, he needs to survive. He draws children in and eats their, that should say souls. Should say souls. Okay. And he tries to persuade Harvey into helping him, but Harvey destroys him. These are very simple, very straight to the point. Depending on what book you're reading, you might have a lot of problems in your book that you can tell, or they might be very, very subtle. The Giver is a book that has very, very subtle problems. You have to really read into the society and how off it seems. But where if you are reading Golden Compass, there is so many problems going on in that book with so many different characters. You're going to have a ton to write about. Your second part after you do this wonderful chart is it's in your book clubs, you might not always agree with which problems are more important than others. So you are also going to defend your reasons. So you're going to create a double chart. And on one side, you're going to say, the problem I think is most important. And on the right side, the reasons this problem is important. So I need to pick my reason, and then I need to justify it. And again, I'm still using Thief of Always, and I'm going to read you mine. So my left side says, the problem I think is most important in Thief of Always is that Harvey wasn't happy with his life, which caused him to follow a strange and unknown character into a magical house. Although he was bored and wanted a new life, talking with his family and figuring out a way to solve his problem would have been more helpful. Because think about it. Like, to me, his boredom caused everything else in this book. So I'm going to give a little bit of supporting reasons. So this problem is important because this is the problem that caused all the other problems in the book. If Harvey had never left, he would have never lost all of the years with his family. He would not have had to fight Hood or his minions to get those years back. Although he met some great friends and now he values his life, the entire main conflict could have been avoided if he had never gone with Rictus in the first place. Okay, this is an opinion. I'm meant to have an opinion. I'm allowed to have an opinion. You might be reading this and say, no, I disagree. That's awesome. But if you don't have the reasons to support which you think is important, your problem that you think is most important doesn't matter. You need to give me specific reasons why it's most important. So I gave you 3. I'm expecting at least 3 from you as well. And you can kind of see the length of my stuff. It would probably take up a full page for the first chart and about half a page to a full page for the second chart. Okay? Please let me, or you can't let me know if you have any questions, unfortunately. But I will hopefully be back tomorrow, doctor's approved, and I will answer any questions with this. Have a wonderful rest of your day.